How does best interests of the child balance parental rights and autonomy? Imagine trying to walk a tightrope where one side is your right to make decisions for your child, and the other is the child's need for safety and happiness. That's what family courts do every day when they decide custody and parenting plans. They aim to find a middle ground that keeps the child's well-being front and center. Family law recognizes that parents have natural rights to raise their children how they see fit. These rights include choosing schools, medical care, and where to live. But these rights are not unlimited. When the court looks at what is best for the child, it can limit a parent's choices if those choices might harm the child's safety or development. The court's main focus is the child's needs. It considers things like emotional health, physical safety, and stability. For example, if a parent wants to move to a different state for a new job, the court will ask if that move benefits the child or disrupts their life. If the move would harm the child's education or relationship with the other parent, it might be denied. Courts look at many factors to decide what is best. They examine the child's relationship with each parent, the stability of each home, and whether there is a history of abuse or neglect. They also consider the child's own preferences if the child is old enough to express them. If a parent has been involved in the child's daily life and provides a stable environment, they usually keep more decision-making power. But if there are safety concerns, the court can restrict their rights significantly. The balance is maintained through certain rules. Courts start with the assumption that both parents are fit unless proven otherwise. They often favor shared parenting because most children benefit from having strong bonds with both parents. Parents can also negotiate their own custody arrangements outside court. If they agree on a plan that serves the child's best interests, the court will usually approve it. However, when safety issues come up, restrictions become stricter. Evidence of abuse or neglect can lead to supervised visits or even losing parental rights. The child's own voice matters more as they grow older. A teenager's wish to live with one parent over another can influence the decision, especially if it aligns with their best interests. In custody disputes, the court must weigh the parent's rights against what the child needs. For example, a parent who has been the primary caregiver might get more time with the child, not just because they want it, but because it benefits the child's stability. Conversely, a parent who refuses to pay child support cannot simply ignore their financial responsibilities. The process depends heavily on evidence. Courts requiring clear proof that a parent's exercise of rights would harm the child before limiting those rights. In cases of safety concerns, the burden shifts to the parent accused of abuse to prove they are safe. One challenge is that best interests is not a fixed rule. Different judges might see the same situation differently. This subjectivity means that parental rights are not guaranteed and can change based on the judge's view of what is best for the child. Some critics believe the standard gives too much power to courts to override parental rights. They argue that parents should generally have equal authority unless there is clear harm. Others worry that courts may not always prioritize the child's true welfare because of their discretion. Overall, the system tries to balance parental rights with the child's needs. Parents can make many decisions, but those decisions must serve the child's safety and happiness. The standard shifts depending on each case's facts, making sure that the child's best interests stay at the heart of every decision.